when it comes to the draft in here, like you're going to play with Ursa, right? And then you're going. What's your laning matchup? I'm thinking here that the Lina is mid, so it's going to be like Mars, and then Spirit Breaker, which is really weak for me. Really weak in the lane. Or wait, mid Spirit Breaker? That's interesting. Lena Mars? Okay. So, naturally, Ursa can take care of the Mars, especially if Mars doesn't have any spells to get some distance against the Ursa. But there is Lena, so for me, the lane is kind of even. Well, based on my observations, though, if if the Lina is good, or if the skills are equal on both sides, I would say that the Radiant will have the advantage. Like Mars Lina is way too strong for Elder Titan and then Ursa in the lane. For me, it's here Mars Lina favored, like Ursa and then ET. It's after the LGD game, so that there are guys trying to copy the strat. So knowing that, so first thing, since you're already divine, um, what you call this? Your itemization. I don't like your itemization at all. Like, why would you even go for Winlays, especially against Mars, and then potentially Mars Spirit Breaker, right? Potentially Mars Spirit Breaker, because you you need to anticipate the matchups on your lane, right? That's how you itemize your support or your starting items. You have to think about potential laning matchups. So if it's going to be Mars Spirit Breaker, why would you even go for Windlays? So if it's Mars Spirit Breaker, most of their damage is going to be physical.
30
Physical.
seconds to battle.
This is the only magical damage from Mars, right? This is physical. So if it's Mars and then Lena, this is gonna be magical, but it's going to be mana heavy. So, and another thing is the attack range of Lena. Therefore, I would say that it's still going to be a lot of physical damage, right? So, given those things in mind, I don't really understand the Winlays. Like, it will only give you movement speed, yes, but it's not gonna help you or your Ursa to secure the lane, right? I like the tango and then the salve and then the cute little play in here that you did, like blocking this. It's actually nice. But the problem that I saw in here is that you have 50 gold remaining for your starting items, and I would recommend that you go for Smoke of Deceit instead. Like let's say you bought Smoke of Deceit, you get the Observer Ward and then Sentry. You can plant the Observer in here deeper, and then you can go in here like plant the Sentry as well, because what you did in here, like in this particular scenario or in this game, is that you just walk in there, right? You just walk in there. Here, you just walk in here. Um, the higher MMR you go, the Rocket Bee, the more coordinated the players are. Like, at this point, I don't understand why the enemy is not even trying to get first blood, or even like camping in here, right? Because in our bracket, in the immortal bracket, 5 men smoke as early as possible, especially if they have like heroes that can make kills. Especially Mars with Lena, Lion, they can make things happen. They can secure first blood, right? So you're actually lucky that they are not in here like waiting. It seems like there's an AFK in here, or yeah, there is an AFK in here. Because if this guy has an observer immediately or at the start of the game and then he did an AFK, I think he will plant an observer as well in the lane, like here. He should not be standing in here, right? So if the mid is actually active, like at the start of the horn, potentially he managed to put observer in here, and then this maneuver that you did in here has been scouted already, right? Your void spirit, as soon as the game starts, he walk immediately to the mid lane, right? So if both mid players will walk to the mid lane at the same time, even though they have like little difference with the movement speed, they could see each other when they planted observer ward, right? They would see each other. So your the thing that you did in here like this, like walking from the low ground, if it has been scouted by the enemy, you'll be dead, and potentially you're going to give first blood to their mid laner, because in higher MMR though, they will give the first blood to the mid lane for the most part to give them like the advantage to easily take over of the game. So yeah, you're just lucky in this. So you have 50 gold. I don't like the Windlays because it's not gonna help you do anything in the lane aside from the movement speed. It's not gonna sustain yourself or the Ursa, because what will happen, even if you have like boots of speed early, Windlays or whatever it may be, even if you will harass the enemy, the Ursa will not be able to follow up. He needs like boots of speed to follow up. And how long it's gonna take for him to farm the boots of speed? It needs like 3 waves to farm the entire boots of speed, and then that's the only time that the Ursa will be able to help you when it comes to the harassment. So what if in the first 3 waves the Ursa is being harassed instead of you or tanking the damage, you know? Most likely, he, instead of going for boots, he will buy something like salve or anything to sustain himself, because you need to sustain yourself as well, right? You'll be poor as fuck in the past 5. Although it's fine if you get that poor, but you're limiting your chances to win the lane. What is it? I was taking advantage of the uncoordinated pubs. I can see how this won't work. Yep. It's just a practice, you know. So here, you scouted them, and then the Ursa, I don't know. Okay. Good thing they missed. I mean, he has vision as well. Good thing he missed though, because but for me, he could actually die in there. Because that is really careless of Ursa. So you have the gold. Let's go back in here, okay? Let's go back with your perspective. You're asking him to cut some trees in there. Alright. Nice coordination. But why the body block though? So you want them to push it. Alright, wait. Let me check it here. One more time. Sorry. I need to check something. So you're pinging Mars line missing. You saw the Lina. You checked his items. Alright, nice. So that confirmed that it's the Lina support because of that checking on the items. Okay. Here, cutting the tree. And aside from that, I don't know why you didn't ping him anymore for more cutting on the tree. Because after he cuts this, you need to ping this one as well. And here. You don't want to spend your tango just to cut these trees right here to get more pathing. So that's something that you need to try. And micromanagement. Okay. Wait. Let me check in here. The replay is kind of a problem in here because I don't see the actual duration before it will return. Okay. So what are you doing in here? Let me check in here. Did you recall did you use the return astral, or it just naturally went back to you? Because for me it's kind of you pressed it, like the return in there. But yeah, who cares about it? And wait. You use it? That's way too early for me. So, is there something that you recognize in the first wave in here, like how useless you are right now? Look at you. First wave, right? Look at you. Look at your position. First wave. So this is the only damage that you managed to dealt to them Astral, which is like 50 magical damage, and then you only hit the creep. And if I'm your Ursa, I'll be mad at you. You know that. One of the reasons is that you never hit the enemy, never. First wave, and then the Ursa is taking the beating. Is 300 HP out of 700 right now because of you doing nothing, right? You went for windlays and then you're not abusing the movement speed. So this is really annoying to see. That's how useless you are as a boss 5. One of the things that I'd recognize in here is that you over body block in here. If it's me, what I would suggest is that you use this immediately. So it will be on cooldown much faster, like here. Why do you need to go here? There's no point, right? You're wasting your time in here so much. Your job as a support is to make sure that your core will have a really good time in the lane. Because after the 10 minutes or 15 minutes, your power is gonna be lower compared to right now. So here, you don't need to go in here. No point in going in there. And then you're still not using it, right? It took like 3 seconds to use it. Even though you saw them, you're kind of walking back and forth in here. Just use it immediately, man. Use it immediately. You can still micromanage this one, right? You can micromanage it. And then you use it just for denies. Even though it's not even the time for deny, you did not, or you decided to help the enemy to get a proper last hit. Right? Here. You're way too early. You're way too early, and then you're way too late, basically. You're way too late when it comes to usage of your spell, like your astral spirit. And then you're way too early when it comes to returning it. And then you're way too early on denying the creep in here. Because if it's me, I will try to even, let's say return the spirit in here. And then issue an attack to either Mars or Lena, but I will prioritize Mars. I will prioritize Mars because the Mars is going to be the core in here, and attacking him from the distance will not do the aggro. I was thinking about letting the lane push in. It's going to be difficult if you're going to let them push out the lane. It's gonna be really bad, believe me. Way too bad. Because Ursa wants to play aggressive. I don't know if you recognize his item. Yeah, finally you recognize his item, which is Orb of Venom. So if he has Orb of Venom and then you're playing under your tower, that Orb of Venom is useless. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Ursa is kind of mad at you, because he wants to play aggressive, but he can't play aggressive. Although you can actually play aggressive because at level 1 you're actually much stronger than them. I mean, the Elder Titan. Your power spike is going to be level 1 and then level 3 with the 2 points in Astral Spirits. But at the same time, if the enemy will have like level 3 when you get level 3 as well, it's gonna be hard for you because of their spells, right? Especially on Mars with the stun and then the Lena. So your best chance into dominating, or at least neutering, or what's the other term? Making sure that you will not, or making sure that the worst possible scenario will not happen is by pressuring them at level 1, level 2. Because once they get level 2, level 3 as well, or level 3 basically, it's going to be harder for both of you. And then, yeah, you're going for Lena, which is, actually, Lena is a support, right? So, if you manage to kill Lena, it's fine. Like, full HP and mana, why not? And then he can deliver items for his Mars. But when it comes to Mars, though, if you delayed the timing of Mars, like harass the Mars so hard, instead of going for early blink, he will rather buy, like, consumables in the lane. And then you're going to pull this? Please, no. Go for stack first. Partial pull? Alright, I'll take it. But then again, you're Ursa. So how many times you hit them so far? It feels like very minimal. Do you have DotA Plus though? Because if you have DotA Plus, you could see the graphs in every scoreboard, and then you would see the damage that you dealt. Especially the right clicks one. So Windlays not being useful. I would suggest something like Ring of Protection, perhaps, or even Sage Mass early, because that will really help you like this. And Ursa is playing under tower, which is fine for sure, but the enemy is being uncontested, right? See what's happening right now? 3 minutes into the game, you've done nothing to harass the enemy, or even make them work, or even relieve some pressure from the Ursa. First 3 minutes, and then you're going to pull again in here. Although you've been missing for quite some time, right? Because you stacked, and then the Ursa is kind of forced to play like really deep in here. A good thing the enemy don't want to go on the Ursa, because if I'm the Mars in here or the Lina, I can easily recognize if one guy is missing or one guy what the other guy is doing. Let's say you've been missing for quite some time. I'm going to start thinking that you're stacking and then pulling, and we can make move on you since you don't have any blink dagger or whatever. So that's why the Ursa is kind of mad at you. 4 minutes into the game, you did not do anything for him. Aside from not doing anything for your Ursa, you did not pressure the enemy. Level 2 Astral, but you're kind of low though. Even if you have level 2 Astral, you cannot use it. So the laning stage in here in your game is practically over. Even if you manage to go in the lane, it's way too late now. Enemy is way too strong now. You need to have like more understanding of the what you call this, power spike in the lane. Power spike. Right now, you recognize that the enemy is strong. That's why you don't want to lane anymore in there. But you did not recognize how weak they are in the early levels. And yeah, 16 CS, no denies on Ursa, and then he's kind of dying. And you want Lina? Okay. And you change target. Okay. And then you decided to go on Lina now. That's actually space for the team, for Rage, and even if you manage to kill the Lina, it's fine. The Ursa is at farming anyway, so it's really fun for the Radiant side. Yeah, really time wasted in here. Even if it's first blood, it's only 279 though. He's very low. That's how you create space. Like, the Lina force you to make some work, both of you. And then, even though Lina just died, you are not pressuring the Mars again, right? Now Lina is going to going to be back into the lane, and then it's nighttime. Spirit Breaker is missing, only Ricky and then Lion showing, and then you want to stack again, but this is only for Zeus, right? If not, maybe on Void Spirit or Shaker, I don't know. And Ursa died. Maybe before you do this, since it's nighttime, put some Observer first. Like, it's nighttime, and then Lina died, and then no Spirit Breaker. And we're going to die. Ah, they missed.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So look at here, Ursa is now playing to the mid lane, right? This is actually frustrating to see. If I'm going to play like Ursa, and then I know that this is a really favored matchup for me, I'll be mad. Like, how the hell we actually lose the lane? So your comment in this replay is that let me see it one more time. Had to carry Ursa that flamey for stacking. Yep. I mean his emotions or his decisions to to flame you
War
is
has
actually
come to
valid.
Radiant's bottom tower.
At least in my eyes, it's valid.
Gold and sweet.
Oh, you didn't see
Dire's
that
middle
coming.
tower is
Nice
under
sentry.
attack.
Are you going to pull? 6 minutes. Guy went mid and then jungle. No, why you're not pulling? What? Why you're here? You should be pulling. I don't get it. If this guy got level 6, you need to get out of here.
Missing.
So let me fast forward this game. Last it. Oh shit, you're actually missing lasses as well.
Radiant's middle tower
And also,
is
I don't,
missing.
I will not recommend that you push out the lane. If possible, fix the lane to be near your tower. So you're going to pull in here. If the enemy followed your spirit, they would know that you are here. And then, what is this? For the most part, or for this scenario, you could actually farm in here because you scouted the Mars in here and then the Spirit Breaker. First mistake is that you push out the lane. Second, you went to the jungle and then you scouted in here and then wasted time in here while losing this. Planted Observer Ward, Tranquil Boots. Level 5, what's your next skill point? I would
Radiant's
assume
top
Echo
tower
Stomp.
is under attack.
And then stacking again.
War has come to Radiant's bottom tower.
I want to know if you actually talk to your Void Spirit or your mid lane that you've been stacking. I wonder if you told him about that. Because if he know that you've been stacking, maybe he will prioritize it over roaming around. Like, one way of, or I suggest you try to make a drawing in here or such, telling him, or even use the microphone and tell him that it's warded.
Bounty.
Because for me, it feels like the Void Spirit doesn't have any idea that you've been stacking. For me. Sure you did? I mean, for the most part, your camera is only on the top side.
Has been slain.
Like your camera is only here and here, only and here.
The red
He did not even bother to look other lanes. Like, does this guy need like battle refill or whatever? You know. But yeah, it's fine though because you just gave them free golds in there. So the point of view, like, for you to stack those camps, you actually lost the lane. You actually lost the lane when you did those stacking, and then it didn't come into the fruition. Like, your team did not even take advantage of it or benefit from that. So if you're stacking, you need to make sure that it will be taken by your team. Because you lost the lane because of that. And then, you're pushing the lane, but it's fine. You already got level 6. You're kind of short on mana. And then, yeah, you still want to play in here. Look at the net worth, though. Ursa has been jungling. 4.2k net worth, which is fine. But again, the problem is this Mars. He got a really good start. Chances are he's going to set up the tempo of the game. Right, he's going to set up the tempo of the game, and then he will get a faster blink dagger timing, and then keep rolling. You know, with the Spirit Breaker and then the Riki, with Lina or Lion, they can make things happen. They can kill anyone on the map. So you push out the lane in here, and then you force reaction in here. You do recognize that the Mars TP'd in here, right? Mars TP'd because he just died. Respawn in here. Lina is in here as well. So after knowing those info in your head that Mars TP'd, you did nothing, right? What are the options that you can do in here? First option that you can do is actually stay in the lane, which will never be done in our bracket, or I will never recommend it. Because if you stay in here, you're not abusing the fact that this guy is trapped in the top lane. Okay? Mars, which is their off lane, and their really big team fight hero
Dyer's
is
middle
trapped
tower is not
in the
what it
top
used to
lane.
be.
Another thing is that they don't have a catapult in here. Even though Mars will TP in here and then proceed to pressure the top lane, it's going to take so much time and effort because there's no tower, or there's no catapult in there, right? So after recognizing that Mars respawned and then TP'd in here, what are the other things that you could do better at this point? For me, rotate the other lane. I would say something like mid lane or bottom lane. Particularly in bottom lane, I would say I would really go for bottom lane because one of their strongest hero on the map, Mars, is trapped. So what are the strong heroes on Radiant right now? Riki is not that strong. Same thing with Spirit Breaker because his spells will not do a lot of damage. Riki will not do a lot of damage. But Mars, with the magical damage, with just spells, he can do a lot of damage. Stuns, everything, tankiness, he can do a lot. With Lion and Lina, they're kind of high burst damage, but it's kind of difficult because if they got scouted, they could die easily as well. So Mars is their strongest hero right now at this point. 10 minutes to 15 minutes. So you playing in here, you are not abusing that fact. You could either like pressure the bottom or mid at that time when the Mars TP'd, but you did not. Do you get my point, Little Rocket B? Because right now, ever since the Mars TP'd, now look at here, you're just reacting, right? And you're even late. Hello. Hello, Michael. Do you get my point, Little Rocket B? So right now, the enemy is making move, and then you're just reacting. And for the most part, if you're going to react to the enemy's movements or actions, you're going to win less team fights, and also most likely you're going to be late. Thanks to your coach, I got to Archon yesterday. Nice. Little Rocket Bee, are you still here? Because I'm not hearing any response from you. I want to know if there is some confusion with the things that I've mentioned so far. Because for me, it's kind of what you call this. Well, look at here, Mars is here. This guy is so strong. But they're diving. They are deep. That's the problem with that. Enemy is bad. So see it right here. When the Mars shows up in the lane or in any team fight or any fight, when the Mars showed up, that gives the team a confidence to actually fight with the team, right? That's how strong Mars is right now. If Mars will show in the top lane, their supports or their heroes will play in the top lane, right? That's how it's going to be because Mars is their team fight. Their Mars is the strongest hero on the map. They in order for the Radiant side to create space for their cores or for their heroes is to play with the Mars. Because if it's going to be like Riki, Spirit Breaker only, there's no damage. If there's Lion and Lina only, they have the damage, but they're not that tanky. And they cannot easily secure the kill because of the potential counter ganks or reactions. So if the supports Lina and then Lion will play in either Spirit Breaker or Riki, they cannot do a lot of things because they're not that strong yet, right? Supports will shine if they have the cores to support with, which is Mars in this game. So let me pause this game for a bit. I'm going to call this, get some water and then go to the restroom as well. I'm sorry. This will be really quick though because I drank a lot of liquid, and it's especially caffeine and it's actually taking effect now. So I need to pee for now. Hold it, really real quick. All right, let's go, let's go. Am I late to the party? No, just get started. First analysis. Um, okay, so where are we at? I was talking about what again? The Mars thing, like positioning, right? And then his TP. So yeah, in every game you need to recognize like which at a given point of the game, let's say 10 to 15 minutes or 10 to 20 minutes, who's gonna do what? Who's gonna do what? What are they gonna do? You know, those things. You need to consider those things. Make it a habit. Practice by now. And then here, you recognize this again. This is actually the same mistake that you did in the earlier part of the game. So here, if you're not mistaken, Mars died in the engagement, right? And then how did he get to the top lane? He TP'd again, right? He TP'd again to the top lane. He used TP again, and at the same time, you're still in the top lane, right? So after winning a team fight in here, knowing that they don't have spell, and your spell that you've spent is only like Echo Slam, but he got Blink Dagger already, and then Void Spirit doesn't require a lot of time to be active because of the low natural low cooldown spells, and same goes for Zeus, like the Lightning Bolt and then the Arc Light. Ursa should be just farming by now. So what I'm trying to say is that you should be, after the fight, you should be sticking a spore in the mid lane and then taking this tower. It's very low already, right? They don't have Mars. They don't have spells. There's no way that they can defend it. They don't have wave clear aside from this Lina. But even if Lina will show up in there, no Azure Lens, that means she needs to go closer first to burst or clear the wave. That's the time that your Shaker can actually jump on her, and then no one can save her, right? Ricky is not going to save the Lina with Smokescreen. Lion potentially could do it, but Mars will not be able to do it because the Mars is trapped. Right? So for the second time of the game now, you failed to recognize their crucial mistake. Because if there's no Mars, there's nothing that they can do. And instead of what you call this, making plays, you are just reacting to them, to their plays. So even if you manage to even if you manage to kill the Mars in here, you can try to take this objective, but it's not gonna be that great when it comes to the impact of the game. But when it comes to the mid lane, like you take this in here, you can easily access Roshan, and you can easily access bottom, right? Which is still gonna be a big part of your game plan or of your team's space and resources. Mid tower is the most important tower in the game. So after you kill this Mars, even though the Mars is trapped in the top lane, you get nothing out of it, objective wise, right?
Yes.
And then you're just walking back and forth, right? And now since earlier in the earlier engagement, the Mars used the arena and then TP died and then TP to the top lane. Even if he walked to the mid lane or bottom or wherever, he will be able to fight with ulti. The stream is lagging. Is it only for you, or how about the other guys? Is it still lagging, or only Little Rocket B? What's the timestamp that you missed it?
Missing middle.
Because if you miss a lot of things, I have no choice but to repeat myself. When is the last time that you properly heard me or saw the stream? So okay, so Zed is actually confirming that it's only you, Little Rocket B. Is there a problem with your internet connection? Or what happened? Okay, can you still hear me? So while waiting for Little Rocket B, I heard B's master got nerfed to ground as well as Lycan. I don't think they are nerfed to ground. Like the Zoom meta in particular. I will not believe that way. Because Zoom meta will be there as long as the enemy don't have wave clear. And Beastmaster is really good in any particular draft because of the attack speed aura. And also the BKB piercing stun. You think it's fine now? Yeah, but what are the things that you missed? What is the minute? Because right now it's 16 minutes into the game. I think you got the point where what you call this? The last time that you talked is that you said, yeah, I didn't take advantage of their strongest hero being stuck at a part of the map. So that's like 12 minutes into the game. So do you want me to go back in time, or you want me to continue? Ah, okay. So the team is supposed to push after Mars died. Okay. I see. So here, here.
What's the measure of
I think it's here. No. It's way too far now. Way too far.
Is under attack.
Way too far. I think here.
What a bounty! Observes carnage underway.
Is it actually here, or? Ah, here. Can you replay as Abbott low prior game? If we have time, we can do it. But instead of analyzing Abbott's low prior game, which will, I don't know, man, like very minimal mistakes. Maybe let's analyze another guy. So yeah, let's go back in here. So look at them, right? They're so weak because they don't have Mars. And here, Mars is actually incoming, and then you have vision on the Mars. And keep going. Here, dead Mars, no arena. Dead Spirit Breaker, maybe? No. Lina. Even though Lina is dead, you tried to Echo Stomp in there. Maybe you could try to advance it as well. And yeah, you don't have protection. So here, right? After the engagement, you actually got BK double damage in here. And tada, you're going to top. Even though your team Shaker actually TP'd as well, which is a problem. But the next time that you recognize this part of the game, like this thing happened again, I'm sure you are going to talk to the guys. If it's me, I will talk to the Shaker that, guys, let's split mid. No Mars, they're gonna fight us. There's no way that we will lose the fight. We're so strong. We can push mid. For sure, the Shaker will listen to you because your call is really nice. So yeah, you killed the Mars in here, but what's the cost again of the Mars kill? Void Spirit and then Zeus, right? So those three heroes on the top lane, instead of going to the Mars, you could actually go for something like Spirit Breaker or Riki or Towers. killing the Mars at this point, it means nothing.
The red mist spreads.
Because you cannot secure any space in
Middle
here.
tower falls. Axis middle.
So yeah, 15 minutes into the game, and here, kind of stacking. You have detection. You're going to put some sentry in here, and any observer. Wait, why are you even going for observer in here? Like, Spirit Breaker showed in the bottom side of the map, right? Spirit Breaker showed in the bottom lane. So, this particular observer ward, I don't think it's gonna achieve a lot for your team. I don't think so. But yeah, whatever.
Missing.
I actually want to talk about the warding in here, because for me, if I have a draft like yours with Ursa, I will place the observer around Roshan instead of in the bottom river. Like, you already took the mid tower, so putting observer in here will only do what? It's only gonna check the rune in the bottom river. That's it. But if you're going to plant like observer ward in here, in the top river side, potentially the Ursa can go in there in the Rosh pit with confidence, because he will be able to see things from there, right? Even if he has morbid mass, he can do it. So, of course, it's going to be case to case basis. But yeah, if I'm the one with Ursa, I will secure the top side of the map and then go for Roshan as soon as possible, because the moment that the second Rosh respond, it will have the shard, right? And then shard on Ursa is really good, way too good. Shard on Ursa. Well, that's why I want to play in the top lane when it comes to the vision game for my Ursa, and also for the team, because if Ursa is so strong, that means we're winning. And also the enemy has like limited stuns that will be destroyed by the what you call this, by the status resistance thing. So here, another thing in here, you actually got a proper fight in here, like 3 kills. Look at here. So the observer ward that you planted in here is actually paying off, but the thing that you only got in here is just kills, no objectives. You're actually lucky that this Mars is really stupid. Like, he went in there when you're about to stomp. So mistakes after mistakes on the enemy, and then you're just taking advantage of it. Okay? Because in reality, I don't think the Spirit Breaker should die in there. Here. Sure, you will be able to do the combo thing. He can actually go for bulldoze as well in there. Or even if he will not be able to use the bulldoze in there, but the Mars and then the Lina should just run away. So yeah, the enemy is bad after all. And then you got 2 kills or 3 kills, sorry, but no objectives, right? If you manage to get kills like this, I suggest you play bottom. You go to the bottom side of the map and then put some observer, because your Ursa wants to finish the tower in there, right? But no, you want to go top. Only for Lion? And then you scouted the Mars, which is nice. You cancel his Blink Dagger as well. Uses Arena. Ricky in here. Shaker in here. Ursa is even TPing in here. He took the tower. I was following my Void Spirit. So basically, all of your decision is pure reaction. Is that what you're telling me? Little Rocket Bee? Everything is only a reaction to someone? Like to the enemy or to your team? Have you ever made a call in here? In this game? So now you actually lost a team fight. Right? You lost a team fight just now. So what are the reasons why you lost this team fight? What are the reasons why you lost this team fight? First thing is that you're going onto the wrong target. Mobilizing 3 heroes just to kill a +5 lion, it's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. If your mid wants to go on the +5 and then he wants you to follow him, ignore him. Tell him that it's not gonna win games. But if your mid wants to go and hunt their carry or the counterpart mid, you should follow him. Or take tower, you should follow him. Because objectives will win games. Objectives is always better than kills. Right? This is always gonna happen every game or every bracket. Especially in Immortal bracket. We will have more emphasis on objectives over kills. Because what's happening right now in here, Little Rocket Bee, let me pause it. You've been killing them, right? You're getting the number advantage and also the cooldown or the hero the strength on the hero advantage, but you're not using that advantage to take objectives. So what I'm trying to say is that instead of you guys chasing a really useless support, and specifically in front of their tower, if you're going to dive like this to a +5, what are the chances that his team will be able to react on time? So basically, you guys spent your spells on this position 5. Position 5, you spent cooldowns, time, resources, like mana, just for a support. And then his team recognized that you guys use all of their spells, and then yeah, we can fight this. Even though Lion died or almost died, since you wasted so much spells in there, they actually have the confidence to fight. And then this is the result. You guys are losing that fight. Because the problem is that you don't know the target. You've been chasing them. So the other thing that you could do instead of chasing the opponents down is force them to go into you. Right? Force them to go into you. And how could you do that? Objectives. If you're taking objectives like towers and then Roshan, the enemy is gonna be forced to defend that or to contest that, like Roshan specifically. Because if they will not defend or contest that, they will lose the game, right? They will really lose the game. Because the name of the game is Defense of the Ancients. It's not who will get the most amount of kills, who will get the most amount of damage, or who will get the most amount of gold. No, it's not. It's always to be Defense of the Ancients. It doesn't matter how good your scores are or KDA. If you lost the game, you lose the game. You will lose the MMR. That's why, for the most part, if you compare the average games of Immortal or higher MMR players, it's way lesser than in lower bracket. Because once we have the advantage, we will never lose hold of it. We're going to step on the gas instead of the brake. We are going to accelerate through the finish. We're not going to make those moves. So I suggest you go for a call in there. Make the call instead of just following like a dog to your team. You need to play like a wolf, like alpha wolf. Lead them. Gore, what's the name of this? Gorg, Floyd, Ghost in Fortnite. Thanks for the follow though, although I'm kind of delayed with the greetings. My apology because I'm kind of into the culture, like, into this game. Do you get my point in here, Little Rocket Bee? Like, those things. So I really suggest that like this again. You're reacting again, right? So, what is the info that you're getting in here? Before you even TP. Here. Look at this. Before you even TP, right? Look at the minimap. So there is Ursa, there is Shaker, there's Zeus in the bottom, mid to bottom, and then they're going onto the top lane. Lion is here, and then Mars in here. So for me, I don't want you to TP in here and then save this guy. So there are 4 heroes in here, potentially 5 because of the Spirit Breaker. Instead of TPing in here, what could you do? What else you could do in this game? Because if you're going to TP, you're just gonna die like this. So instead of reacting to their play, you gather info about the enemy. Like, this guy don't have arena, this guy don't have TP, he's trapped in the top lane. So that means we can make a move into the mid or to the bottom, right? Yeah, you can actually go for Roshan. You can smoke and then go for Roshan, right? Even if they contest the Roshan at this particular point of the game, look at here. Before you even die in here, look at here. Recognize this scenario. Before you even complete your TP, right? 4 heroes in here, arena used, and then no other spells on the line there, and then Ricky showed up, right? So if you actually go for Roshan play in here, right, knowing that this guy has BKB, I don't think they can stop him because they don't have any BKB piercing stun, right? And another thing is that, yeah, you actually scouted his items, right? BKB. That means he wants to fight early. So how can you fight with BKB early? Force objectives. So here, instead of TPing in here, you could actually go for close the Ursa and then go for Roshan, smoke Roshan. You have Solar Crest. It will reduce the armor. It will be much easier. And yeah. So this is unnecessary death from you. You should not feed like this. And Ricky TP'd. This is the problem because you muted the guys, right? This is the problem. Communication is still crucial into the game. And then I suggest you get something like Magic Wand since they have like casting thing. Zeus died. You're not looking. You're too late again. Even though you don't have TP though, you did not even recognize that the fight is almost over. So you scouted the area and then you TP'd immediately, even though it's over, right? Minimap, Lion, blink out actually. Ricky's still there. But yeah, way too late. Even though in your camera perspective, you're just here, right? So for me, after you issued the move command in here, you should be looking around the map already. Right? Look at here. You've been clicking in the same place. Even though it will take like 5 or 7 seconds for you to go from here to here. You have so much time. And then from those intervals, you should be looking around the map. Gathering info. Especially if you're going to play support. And you're too late. You TP'd. And then what? Ricky dead. Ricky dead, by the way. Are you sure you want to invade in here? Ah, he used BKB. And then what?
That is for certain.
Nothing else? You can still go for smoke and then go for Roshan. You can see the. Okay, you're making drawing now, but your drawing is not. Your call is not actually that great. So Ricky, keep it to mid, and then you can see the Mars in here, right? You can see this Spirit Breaker. You have those info in your head. You smoke 3-man smoke. By the way, this is a real bad smoke because 1, guy, no BKB yet. 2, no Echo Slam. So you're forcing your team to fight. You're forcing your team to fight even though you guys are so weak. Because you don't have the specific timing yet. Now, the Ursa has BKB. Everyone is missing. Although they're from mid. But still no Echo Slam, right? From the Shaker. And then the Shaker is not smoked. And then here, scouted. Everyone has been scouted. So what are you going to do in here? You're going for... what? Why are you using this? Why is you throwing this? There's no setup in there, right? I don't... Let's see it here in normal speed. So Fisher has been used. Wait, let me check in here. So here, you get stunned, and then you're fine. Double stun, but you actually use the pig hole. Okay, so after you use the pig hole in here, you just use this, even though there's no more stun from your team, right? So if your team doesn't have any more stun, especially the shaker, what are the chances that the enemy will stay in there, right? You're just throwing your spells. And then shaker, set it up. It's much easier this time around, right? Because the shaker is there for the stun, and then you can land your spells. Right? So you have to play with your spells on your teams. You cannot solely use your ulti, even though it's only 2.7 something now.
Radiant's structures are fortified.
Zone? Which hero you're zoning? I don't feel that it's actually a zoning thing. Look at it in here again, right? I don't think it's actually zoning. Look at your positioning. Right? So who are you gonna zone in here from this position? Like from this line? There's no zoning that will happen in here. For the Mars Arena? I don't think so.
Does not believe in killing innocent couriers. Warriors is fine though.
Because if you want to zone, you should be stopping the Mars in the first place, like going for W and then Q, forcing the Mars to use the stun on you instead of using the arena in there. If you go for the Echo Stomp in there early, the Mars will be forced to use the stun.
Behind their fortifications.
About the drawing though, you just need to hold your control and then left click and then drag. Although it's still a win team fight for your team. It's still a win, you know. But it's not mainly because of you. It's more of the stuns on the shaker and then the damage on the Ursa and then the void. But yeah. It's still good. It's still a good fight though, but your impact could be actually higher in there. Just saying. I like your attempt into the zoning thing, but it's not actually that effective. So you have Solar Crest. Alright, Roshan has been killed. And then you should make a drawing by around this. You should make a drawing instead of this guy going back to base. Well, he got no basher, but for me, even without basher, it can still go because the enemy don't have any more spells. And wait, is this the same warding spot that you've been using? You're now on the offensive, Little Rocket B. You are now on the offensive. There's no need for you to go for that observer play. And also, if possible, please try to use sentry in here, like on the ground, and then use your Astral Spirit for scouting, like the one that you did in here when you plant a sentry in here and then you scouted in here. Be more consistent with it, because what if you only scouted sentry in here and then the enemy observer is actually here? That means that you failed to destroy their observer, and then they have full vision on. And what is this about? Sentry ward in there? You're throwing 50 golds.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Force Staff. Force Staff is a really nice item against the enemy draft, especially on the Riki. Riki, chain stun on the line, and then the Lina, you can help someone. Took the tower in here. Smoking? I don't think you should be. You need to smoke. Like, your map movement is actually really obvious. After finishing the job on the bottom, of course you're going to play mid or top next. You're not going to stay at the bottom. Alright, Riki's dead. So after killing Riki and then Lina, what's next? What are you gonna do about it? Push mid maybe? And then go for high ground? Force them to TP out.
Dire's top
Did you take note of the Roshan timer? I wonder.
The red mist spreads.
Because
Radiant's middle tower. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ricky is bad all throughout the game. So you scouted them.
Has fallen.
Wait, why the guys are TPing? They should not be TPing to the top lane. So that's good that you're copying the Russian timer because it's really nice. You're actually for the first time in the game, Little Rocket B. I'm sorry, but I have to say this. You're playing in the right side of the map. 28 minutes into the game. Why I'm saying you are playing in the right side of the map? You still have the Aegis, and then you guys are so strong. Your team should be playing in the mid lane, like pressuring the tower, and then force the fucking enemy to TP and defend the racks, defend the high ground, right? Because if you pressure the if you trade the top tier 2 over racks in the mid lane, it's a win-win scenario for you. So I'm sorry if I'm kind of rude, but this is actually the first time in the game that you are playing in the right part of the map. But the problem is that you are not. Well, it's not actually your fault, but your team is not playing in the right side of the map. So in your upcoming games, knowing this knowledge, I hope that you could lead your team in a more effective way, rather than following them around.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top
That's the problem. You don't have any communication. So one of the easy thing to do in here, like after you took the mid, you should make a drawing in here. Just go like this, okay? Aside from drawing like this, because of this drawing will indicate that you guys should play, or aside from circling the whole triangle, go for something like this, more easier to understand, like arrow to the mid lane, or ping like this, attack this, you know? Ping like this. This is much easier. Communication is the key, especially if you're support. You cannot afford to not talk to your cores. Especially you're going to play support. If you're a core like carry, it's fine if you're not going to talk. But communication is really crucial in game. And then you guys are TPing again, even having like Aegis and then BKB and Basher. So what's happening in this situation is that you guys are giving them time to farm and be ready with your upcoming high ground siege. But right now, they are not actually ready to fight you off in the high ground because you are so strong right now. But what if the Ricky is just waiting for his BKB, like 500 golds, and then those shenanigans that you did made him farm his BKB, you know? I do use mic though, but there's a problem with the communication, like why the team is not following you, right? So if you failed when it comes to the microphone usage, remember what I suggest to you. Use the drawing. Use the lines. This is much easier. Even though your team is not using microphone or not speaking English or any language, you know, the line is easy. It's global. Even the ping, it's global. Everyone can understand the pings and drawings on the map. But English, I doubt that. Tagalog, I'm not sure as well. Yeah, it's actually bad. Like the team, whenever there's a guy on the other lane, they will just TP. Yeah, you have Aegis, you have Catapult. Look at them. The only way that they can defend this Rax is by Mars, and then they're playing as 5. The Mars is their proper team fight and defender. Your Ursa is really bad. Fucking hell. Why would you even go in there and then use BKB immediately when you can just use Enrage in there and then wait for the cooldown? BKB for what? But yeah, it's not your fault though. And then here is actually let's take a look in here in your siege attempt, okay? So the guys are dead, especially the Spirit Breaker. Wait. The Observer Ward, okay? The Observer Ward in here. Before they kill the Observer Ward, they know that you're moving from here to here, right? From here to here. They know. And then it's not going to be hard to predict that you're going to put sentry in here, right? Because you're moving from here to here. It's so obvious that you're going to plant observer right there. Because look at your positioning, it's still there,
Middle tower is under
right?
attack.
And then Ursa in here.
Structures are fortified with 12 important vitamins and minerals.
They ping me toward. Yeah, like here. The enemy know your positioning. Like the way that you're moving around the map, and then they instantly destroy your observer. Right? But what about the other side of the map? Let's say even here, right? They're actually prepared and they're seeing you. That's another thing.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
If you know that putting ward in there is stupid, don't listen to them.
Dire's top tower
Because
is under attacks.
right now, it feels stupid for me that you're planting your observers like this. You're not valuing your observer ward. Maybe it's because it's free, that's why you don't value it as much. But I'm telling you, in higher MMR bracket, every ward must count. Recognizing the bad and then good supports are one of them is the warding gate. If your observer wards are expiring in the first minute or two, like it's not reaching its full duration, you're a bad support when it comes to warding. If I will only consider you as good warder if most of your, or let's say all of your observer wards are expiring, not being dewarded, and then you're setting up plays in there. So yeah, so what happened? One last thing, Little Rocket Baby, because to me it's kind of what we have nothing else to learn from here. One last thing. Remember what I told you earlier when you just killed someone and then the guys TP'd immediately? You need to talk to them like, stop it. And then tell them that the guys are not ready to defend high ground. We should go high ground and then force them to TP out. Because since you guys delayed the push, the enemy have a time to react on you, and then they actually managed to kill the Ursa. And without the Ursa in here, it's going to be difficult for you guys to siege high ground. Although it's happening because the guys are outnumbered, like this, like 3 versus 4. But it's still hard for you guys to siege, right? You even lose the team fight. You even fail to siege high ground 4 versus 4, right? So again, it's always going to be when it comes to the high ground siege, you need to be careful about heroes that acts like a wall. Something like Tidehunter, Mars, you know, those heroes. You need to be more careful about it. Like this, right? So I cannot blame you alone for delaying the game and then making this game kind of throwy. But the only thing that I could say to you is have more communication with your team. Have more communication, and then give them. If you're going to make a call, give them specifics. Let's say you want the mid tower. Instead of saying push mid, you say something like, let's take mid. They cannot defend. They're so weak. If you have the extra detail and then reasoning behind your call, they will surely follow you. But yep, I think the game is over in here at this point because you guys are so ahead, and then the game is just gonna be played out as it is. Lack of discipline kind of game. I wonder, Little Rocket B, if you have any questions for me though.
Dire's top tower is under attacks.
Do you have any questions for me, specifically about your game, like decision making wise?
Missing middle.
Money to burn.
I'm thinking of a few. Say it. What if my calls lead to throw the game? Take responsibility. Take fucking responsibility of your calls. It's not nice if you are going to make the call and then you will blame someone if you fail. Take responsibility out of it. It's your call after all. Maybe not question, so what about it? But I guess the takeaway is that I should not be too passive with forcing the team on what to do. What is it again? Yeah, you should. You're so passive to the point that you're only reacting. So if you're Elder Titan and then the only thing that you're good at is reacting, like what I've mentioned, if the enemy is much better than you, if you're going to react, most likely you will not make it in time. Most likely, if the enemy made calculated plays, there's no way that you will be able to react in time or be there in time.
Axe observes carnage underway.
One way to practice this is that try to play in tournaments or in battle cup, you know, or even in lobby, because everything is really coordinated in there, and then you will see the difference that I'm trying to say. I feel like my Java's ET5 is to counter initiate. No, actually no.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Axe wishes it was you instead. Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Not because your toolkit is something like this, or not because your hero or your comfort is counter initiating. It doesn't mean that you should not be growing your playstyle. If you're playing from the advantage and then you're going to counteract only, you're late. If you have the advantage, push it. So yeah, the game is really stupid at this point. So I guess we don't have any questions. I'm going to exit or close this. What is it, Koi? Can I switch the game? Yeah, you can try to change it, and then I'll download it. So I'm going to end this replay now, Little Rocket Bee, and thank you for your time. And I hope you will be able to apply those knowledge into your upcoming games. And let me know about the results by sending me a feedback in my Discord. So, do you want me to summarize your game, or no need? You already got it. If you will play again like this in higher MMR bracket, they will be really mad at you, and most likely they will just throw if you played like this. Maybe a short summary, okay? First, recognize the lane matchups. Recognize if you're going to play defensive or offensive. After getting a plan into your head, like, okay, this is the matchup. This is the potential matchup. I'm going to play offensive. Know the power spikes. Know the items as well that you are going to buy to make it happen. Your itemization, like win rates, this is fucking useless, bro. 250 gold and then you're doing nothing. You're not even hitting someone in the lane. This is really useless item. So you cannot blame the Ursa for being mad at you, because even me, I'm so mad at your gameplay. Like whole laning stage, you did nothing against Lina and then Mars. And then Ursa is forced to TP out like 6 minutes into the game. He went to mid and then jungle because he cannot take it anymore. You're so useless in the lane. So yeah. Laning stage, and then after the laning stage, when it comes to the mid game, you need to recognize their strongest hero. How can they create space? How can they get objectives? What do they want to do, right? And then also recognizing the win condition of the enemy. So based on the role, their win condition is going to be Riki. After Riki, Spirit Breaker, and then Mars. There's a potential in Lina as well, but Lina is not having a good time. That's because there's no hero that can enable the Lina, and the only hero that can enable the team, the Radiant side, is the fucking Mars. Whenever there's Mars, you have to anticipate that there's a fight incoming, especially when he got Arena. Only the Arena is the one that they're waiting for in order to fight. Even with no Laguna Blade or Finger of Death on Lion, or even Nether Strike on Spirit Breaker, as long as there is an arena on Mars, they can make things happen, either objectives or kills. All right, and then after that, it goes to the discipline, because once you recognize those things like the win condition into the mid game alone, like was there hero that will be active, and if you manage to shut down their active hero, it will go down into the late game, and then it's gonna be much easier because you managed to stop their timing. Go for it. Don't say that you have any follow up question. No, don't say that I have another question or whatever. Just say it immediately. Ask me immediately. There's no need for that. Do you think 80 immortal briefcase is paid to lose? I don't think so. Yeah, I guess we're good. Since your question is not related to to the game anymore, I'm gonna put a check mark on your request in here, little Rocket B, and good luck and have fun with your game. All right.